So what do you do when you don't get hired? How do you speak to the client after they say, no, we've gone with somebody else? Hi, it's Bill. This is Creative License, and thanks again for checking in on the little show. I want to thank you for being so nice to all of my sponsors. They really appreciate it, like DJ Event Planner, Disc Jockey News, Electro Voice, Promo Only. The Perfect Portals is a new sponsor. Thank you for being so nice to them. You're keeping them really busy. So that happens on a regular basis, and people say to me, so they didn't go with me. Okay, I wish I knew why they didn't go with me. There's something going on. I'm not getting as many bookings. People aren't going with me. And the first thing I ask them is, did you ask them why? I mean, did you? They usually look at me like, what? I'm going to ask them why? Yeah. Why wouldn't you ask why? I could, they ask me like I'm going to know why that person didn't hire him. And I could take a pretty educated guess, and they could probably make a pretty educated guess. But then you're going by guesses. And the only person who knows why they didn't hire you is the person that didn't hire you. And if you are straight and ask the right questions and are unafraid to hear what's true, then you get to get some really real answers from those people. Most of the time, when a DJ asks me this, they already think they have an answer. Well, they didn't go with me because they found a guy cheaper. Okay, I was too expensive. That's why they didn't go. Well, usually, that's not the answer. That might even be what they tell you, but usually that's not the answer. Usually it's something else. Usually it's they didn't connect with you. Usually maybe you looked kind of funny. Right? Maybe they were just waiting to meet someone that made them go, oh, you're cool. I want to work with you. Maybe they just felt something else, but it hardly ever is a certain price. And we think it is because they come to us with a budget, right? What's your budget? Well, our budget is $800 to $1,000. Well, you're going to come out higher than that. And then all of a sudden they're not hiring you. It must be because you were above their budget. That's hardly ever the reason. The reason is usually something else. And if you are unafraid to ask really hard questions and ask them to be super honest with you, they'll be honest back. This is something that I did when I first started, especially when I started raising my rates above the $2,000 mark, because I was terrified I wasn't going to get booked. I was sure I wasn't going to get booked. And when I didn't, I was right. And then I was positive that it was because I raised my prices. It's really dumb. There's nobody even close to $2,000. Until somebody gave me this advice. Now, it's a scary question to ask. And it's even scarier when you ask and you say, but do me a favor, be really, really honest. Was there something about me? Is there something about what I offered that you would have wanted that I didn't offer? What are those things? And when I started asking questions like that, I got real, truly real answers. And helped me to define the things that I offer that I knew that people wanted, or at least that would make me feel more valuable at the very least. Because there's not a whole lot you won't do to be sure that the client gets what they want, right? But we're not often expressing that when we're talking to people. And most of the time, we're not really listening to what they really want. And that's the biggest reason that we don't get hired, is because we didn't really hear what was really important to them. We just heard, we want music, and do you have Elton John? And are you at my right price? Yes, and yes, and yes. Okay, well, he heard yes from 5 other people, so they just found the cheapest person, or they just found the one they liked better, or the better smile, or didn't look as yucky, right? So if you're going to come at your clients and your potential clients in a way that's different, you need to really know why they're looking, because trust me, I've said this once, I've said it a million times, people don't want to hire a DJ. They have to hire a DJ. And don't take that personally, because they don't want to hire a caterer either. They have to hire a caterer. They don't want to hire a florist. They have to hire a florist. They have zero idea how to get any of those things. They want something else that they're going to get because they hired a DJ, a florist, a caterer. When you learn what that is, then they will find a way to pay you whatever you want to be sure that they get that feeling because they hired your company. All right. What do you think of asking really hard questions of your clients? And better yet, like I said, ask it to them personally. Call them back. why didn't he hire me? Why'd you hire the other guy? Ask who they hired.
That'll teach you a lot as well. I'm Bill. This is Creative License, and I'll see you next week.